About a year ago, I did a video showing you guys the final resting place of the late former Tampa mob boss Santo Trafficante Jr. and his wife Josephine. And I promised you guys that I would get back out to this location and show you some of the other more famous graves in the cemetery that pertain to the mafia genre. And I was in the vicinity of the Old Union Italiana Cemetery today here in Ybor City, Tampa, Florida, and I figured I would pull in and make good on my promise. So I am going to be showing you probably the second most famous grave in the cemetery, second to Santo Trafficante Jr. And that's a high order as it pertains to the mob genre, because I would say 99% of Tampa's Italian mob past is laid to rest in this cemetery, from the Trafficante crime family and prior to the Antinori crime family. So that kind of gives you a gauge of how old this ethnic Italian Sicilian cemetery is. It's just an absolute gem, and just some gorgeous graves in here. So very historic cemetery. So now I have a little walk to do to find the location that I am going to be showing you guys. Okay, we're almost to our destination, where I'll be showing you guys arguably the second most famous grave in the cemetery as it pertains to the mafia genre. And that grave is also a Trafficante. This is the final resting place of Santo Trafficante Sr. and his wife, Maria Cacciatore Trafficante. And Santo Trafficante Sr. is important to the history of the Tampa crime family, the Trafficante crime family, because he is the namesake of the family. He ran the family from the 30s up until his death in 1954, prior to his son, Santo Trafficante Jr., taking the reins. And like his son, he ran it mostly unopposed. He did have some competition in his primary racket, which was Bolita, a numbered ball type lottery game that was very popular in his day. And he ran a very large Bolita racket, but he obviously was also involved in the traditional rackets such as shylocking, extortion, etc. And just like his son, he ran a very tight ship. The Tampa Mafia is a lot different than a lot of the other crime families, and that has a lot to do with Tampa itself. It's a very small, big city, and during the era of both Santo Trafficante Sr. as well as his son, it was even a smaller city. And all the members of the family and the associates were largely blood relatives or in-laws, or had at least grown up in the same community. So, they were very selective of who they allowed in to their organization. And they just ran a very proficient crime family. And it was almost near impossible for the federal government to be able to infiltrate. Smartly ran by both these gentlemen. And now, obviously, they both operated prior to RICO, but again, it's hard to get racketeering charges on an individual when you have, nobody willing to testify against them. So I'll kind of get up close to show you a photo. It's a good thing with these graves. Most of them have photos. And this is Santo Trafficante Sr., who you know, definitely resembles Junior. You could tell. And here's a photo of Maria Cacciatore Trafficante, the mother of Santo Trafficante Jr. and his brothers. These are just phenomenal, phenomenal graves. I mean, you know, like I said, this would have been a grave that both Santo Jr. and his brothers would have picked out for their parents. And, you know, and back then people didn't live as long as people do now. You know, the medicine wasn't as advanced, nor medical science. So if you think about it, you know, Santo Trafficante Sr. died from stomach cancer. He was only 68 years old. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, that's young by today's standards, but back then that's a pretty full life, you know, to be up around 70. Anyhow, so I wanted to show you guys this grave, but also just kind of show you guys what some of the other tombs look like. I mean, these are just absolutely gorgeous old structures, and they're all stone and marble. And just, I mean, man, it gets very intricate. And it's not all above ground tombs. Obviously, there's a lot of in-ground burials. I mean, Tampa's above sea level, but it's not far above sea level. You don't have to dig down far to start hitting moisture. But it's not New Orleans, where they are forced to bury above ground. There they are at sea level or below sea level. Why they have the levees. So I will get back out here and cover some of the other graves in the cemetery, some of the other mob figures through the years, because like I said, 99% of them are laid to rest here. All right, guys, have a good day.